Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Learners. In this video, we'll be making this animated website using HTML and CSS. If you have not watched my previous video, go and watch it. I'll provide the video link in the description box. So without wasting time, let's get started. So let us start our video. I have few images here. I'll be using them, and I'll put the boilerplate and link HTML and CSS files and give the title to, and I start my live server here. So what I'm styling. So now let us start styling the body tag. So I have an background image here. I'll be using it. I'll write here background URL. And I'll add background. And as you can see that this is a background, but this background is not of full size. For that we can use background size property. And now as you can see that the background is of full size. So let us add images here. So I'll start styling this image. I'll use hashtag city for that. So I'll use position absolute, top 0, bottom 0 and left 0. And I'll add height to it because this image is too big. And as you can see that there's an image here. So I'll add width as this is not of full size. So as you can see that there's an overflow. To stop that we can use overflow hidden. And now this is looking fine. So let us add a logo. So before adding logo, I'll add earth image and give it an alt earth and ID also earth, and I'll start styling earth. I'll use position absolute property. And now as you can see that there's an earth image, but this is very big. For that we can use height property. I'll use height as 600 pixels, and as you can see that there's an image. I want this image to be back of all the objects, so I'll use z index -1. Then I'll add logo. You can find all the images link in the description box. So I'll start styling logo. For that I'll use hashtag logo, and I'll add some styling to it. I'll add position absolute, top 4% and left, right 7%, and I'll add an height too. And now if I reload this page, so I'll reload it one more time, and now as you can see that there's an image here. So now let us add a navbar. For that I'll use div class navbar. I'll add few images here for the navbar. I have a menu image, so I'll add it and give it an ID menu, and I'll add few more images here. And now as you can see that there are images. So let us start styling. First I'll style navbar. So I'll give it an width and a height. And I'll give position left 0. And now as you can see that these images are on the same line, so I'll add an background gradient. And now as you can see that there's a background. So now let us start styling the icons. First I'll start styling the menu. I'll use hashtag menu for that and give it position absolute, left 10% and top 2. And now as you can see that the icons are looking nice. So now let us start styling other icons. And now as you can see that these icons are looking good. So let us add an astronaut image here. So I'll add styling to it. Right 3%, bottom 4% and height of 400 pixels. And I'll reload it. As you can see that there's an image, astronaut image. So as you can see that this website is now looking great. So now let us add a button here. So I'll use button with class btn1 and I'll write some text here. And as you can see that there's a button. So now let us start styling the button. For that I'll use .btn1 and add some styling. And as you can see that the button is looking great. So now let us add some fonts to it. I'll go to fonts.google.com and I'll select Roboto font and add it. So I'll toggle the command palette and now let us add hover effect. So I'll use btn1 hover, background color white and color black. And let us add transition to it. And as you can see that this button is looking fine. So now let us add text. For that I'll go to div and make a div and add a class to it. And I will add an h1 tag with class text and inside that I'll write some text. And yeah, as you can see that there's an text here. So now let us start styling. So I'll use dot text and add some styling. Top 14% and left 24%, and as you can see that the text is near the rocks. And let us add a small tag. So small tag makes the text smaller, and give it a class, and I'll add some text here. And as you can see that I'll add some styling to this small text, and position absolute, top 12%, and I'll add fonts to it. So now let us add animation to it. For that I'll use div with class area, and I'll add an UL too, and I'll use lines. So instead of lines, let me use images. So I have a star image, I'll be using it, and I'll give it alt as star, and I will copy it and paste it 9 times. So now there are 10 stars here, as you can see. So let us start styling it. So I'll use dot star, and I'll add some stylings. And I'll style dot stars image too, and add some styling, and add an animation to it of animate 10 seconds, linear, infinite. And now there are no animations to it because we didn't add keyframes. So let us use hashtag stars because I gave it class at stars. So now there are stars, as you can see here. So let us start styling all the images. For that I'll use hashtag stars image and th styled. So I should not use brackets here, and I'll add some styling. So I'll use left, width and more. And now let us add keyframes. Add the red keyframes, animate, and I'll add the stylings. So I'll copy it and paste it one more time, and I'll write here 100%. And now as you can see that there are no animations. Just modify it, and now as you can see that there's an animation. and I have copied all the stylings of dot stars LTH child. I'll paste it here. So I used class instead of ID, so I'll go and change it. And now as you can see that there's a star animation. If you like, then you can add filter blur that will add blur effect. Now the website is completed. If you like this video, then share to your friends and subscribe to learnerz too. If you have not watched my previous video on how to make gradient animation using HTML and CSS, go and watch it. I'll provide the link in the description box. So I'll see you in next video. Until then, bye bye.